Now, Penny also touched base on how him and Shaq broke up. And at the time, the Orlando Magic, they were just a brand new expansion franchise. So their front office dealing with free agency was still a brand new thing. And free agency overall in the NBA, I believe in the 80s, for 7 years, the players had fought through litigation to get the privilege of even having that. But the way Shaq was available on the open market, the Magic did not understand that they had to come the first few times correct, or another team would eventually make moves to do so. Situations like this have to be handled very delicately, especially with the media trying to pin Penny Hardaway and Shaq against each other. And this is a game that they continue to use even today. We see Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown be pinned against each other even before they won the championship and experienced success. They did the same thing to Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid when they were in Philadelphia. Overall, it's a tactic that the media has always ran against co-stars just to draw up some headlines. Unfortunately for the Orlando Magic, just being a brand new franchise, they didn't have any experience navigating through those treacherous waters.
So the next year, Shaq get hurt most of the year, you know what I'm saying? And you have to take a leadership role into stepping up your game even more because you don't have the big
Going
fella
crazy.
as much as you had. Y'all went 60 games that year.
Yeah.
You know, win 60
went
games.
off.
And then, again, you meet the Bulls. You know they was coming back for revenge. What was that next series like when Jordan with a full season playing against y'all?
Jordan, once again, he had all the fire that he needed because the media, to open up that season after their matchup against the Bulls without Shaq, in which Penny dominated, they started to put out articles saying that Penny has taken Jordan's place. So going into the playoffs in 1996, this was a way different Bulls team than it was in Jordan's return from the 1995 playoffs.
Well, he say this. I just want to insert this in here. I was 17 at the time. I was at the crib. I probably was as ready as y'all were for this rematch of this series. Go ahead, Penny. I wasn't in it. I was sitting in my front room, but I was ready. Go ahead.
Hey, so it's...
And just to add more context to this series right here doesn't get talked about too much. It's the way they lost, the way Michael Jordan just shut down this team. I'm pretty sure Shaq might have understood that, hey, we're not going to get past these guys anytime soon. Because Michael Jordan looked like he returned right back into form. And just the way the Orlando Magic mentally had broken down in the finals, they knew it was over and there was no coming back. Mentally, how Nick Anderson broke down, especially with missing the free throws and just his overall aura, that had a trickle-down effect on the rest of the team.
It's like this, bro. When you have your moment, like we talked about when I had my moment, you got to be ready for it. Them boys was ready for their moment the second time around. They was mad from the year before. Shaq and B. Shaw putting hearts on it. The MJ ain't forgot nothing. He done went the whole summer eating raw eggs and raw steaks and got into the Tai Chi and everything. That boy went crazy all summer and was like, all right, I'm getting them next time. So Shaq was hurt. Nick got hurt. Somebody else might have been hurt. And we went in like the first game kind of okay. And then after that, everybody started getting injured. They swept us, bro. They took us out. And after that, it was like Shaq was gone. Everything left. It's like MJ destroyed the whole franchise behind us beating his ass the year before.
Yeah.
The reason why it was over because the Orlando Magic, just like a lot of young teams, they were used to dominating. And when things got real tight, real close, mentally, they were not strong enough to get up to the next level. That's what you really seen from Michael Jordan in The Last Dance. You seen what was perceived as mental abuse on his teammates, the way he was yelling at them, but in reality, he was getting them prepared for mental warfare on the court in order to get to that championship level. That's what the Orlando Magic were missing. And the 1995 NBA Finals showcased that. Once they went down 0-2, Nick Anderson missing the free throws, they were not mentally ready to hold their composure when shit got tight. And it just all imploded at the end when they met up with the Bulls in the 96 playoffs in that revenge match where that defense completely shut them down. I mean, if you go back and look at the footage, you can see a lot of scenarios where guys couldn't even get the ball across half court. The Bulls defense just had the clamps on them.
Tell us about that, like Shaq transitioning into leaving, the organization not giving him the type of money that he felt he wanted and he deserved. leaving something that y'all had so special. Like the last couple of years, y'all went to the finals and y'all went to the Eastern Conference final. It can't be nothing but championship next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all don't have nothing to lose. It got to be championship next. But then one of y'all biggest pieces leave the scene. How was that for you to see how that played out?
Well, that was the summer that we had the Dream Team, and we were practicing in Orlando at Disney World. That's where our practice facility was. We met there and just was practicing. And the articles I was reading in the paper, bro, you know, we had young fans who didn't know any better. We had immature beat writers that were just kind of ragging on Shaq because he couldn't make free throws, right? So they was like, we don't think Shaq deserves the money that he's saying that he deserves because he can't make free throws in the clutch. Why would you pay somebody that much money? And I'm like, are y'all kidding me?
Again, pay attention to the media landscape. This is a brand new infantile franchise that doesn't really necessarily know how to navigate through all these scenarios. Why would they come at Shaq and give him a low ball offer? It makes no sense. You're getting all this negative press from your local media saying that Orlando does not need Shaq.
Y'all gotta chill, and that pissed Shaq off. So if he wasn't looking to go anywhere, at that point, the Lakers and Jerry West came in and was like, hey, big fella, they don't appreciate you down there. Come on out here to LA and let us kind of show you what it's like. And Orlando is a beautiful city, but when you go to the City of Angels, bro, and they start throwing out them movie contracts and all these endorsements, and you playing for the Lakers,
Different ball.
hook, line, and sinker, man, they got them. And I'm sitting in the press conference in Atlanta with all the international media, plus the American media, all the media there. It's so many media people. And this guy, I don't know what country he was from, he was like, how does it feel not to have Shaquille O'Neal as a teammate anymore? I didn't know that. I was
That
like,
was when
well,
you first found out.
yeah, I was like, if that's the case, then that would be devastating. And then I'm looking around at Scotty and Grant and them, they looking at me like, and bro, after that was over, I found out that Shaq had left. That's the way I found out. And he came to my room the next day and was like, I apologize, bro, but I had to do it. And I was done.
Damn.
Damn, Penny was done for a number of reasons that he didn't even know at the time. He's about to take on a lot of workload as far as maintaining that winning streak that the Orlando Magic had, getting to the conference finals, trying to get back to the finals. It's going to take a toll on his body, and a lot of that workload was absorbed by Shaq. That doesn't get talked about enough. Shaq just leaving Orlando, it put a different kind of workload on Penny's body, and that's why he probably broke down.
Man, that's 1-2 punch, man. That was crazy, man. That's devastating.
Like how was
Yes,
how was it when you got back to the team after that? Like how did the team atmosphere feel? Like when you had the games, how did the games feel? Did everything feel like it kind of shifted and changed after big fella left?
Bro, when Shaq left, damn doorknob on the building was breaking off and shit. Motherfuckers, thank you. Everything in that motherfucker started breaking down. Hey man, we ain't got no ice, man. What ice at, bro? Hey, everything, we went straight back to where we started, bro. It was like an expansion team all over again. It was like, damn.
Hell yeah, man. They got that expansion shit hovering over their heads. They got hit with the Holy Trinity, man. They broke down mentally in the finals. They broke down again mentally against Jordan and the Chicago Bulls in the 96 playoffs. And then they lost Shaq. It was over. It was over.
We went from the Beatles to, man, just being just some dude that was trying to make it. Like, we trying to give you our mixtape.
Back in the
Hey,
day.
bro.
Man, they went to becoming a SoundCloud rapper, man. What's going on here?
It went that bad, though. It went bad. We knew it did. It went down fast, bro. It wasn't even like a slow grind. We competed a little bit, but it went from 60 to 41 to 42 to 45. It was like we knew the magnitude of what had happened, man.
And you've seen it in the teams that's playing against you. They like, oh yeah, I don't got Shaq, so we don't fear nothing that y'all got going on.
Oh, come on. It's like when we first went to Chicago, and I'm going to go back to what you just said. Man, me and Shaq out in the clubs kicking it because MJ, they was like, one dude in the club said, oh, I bet if Black was here, y'all ass would be in the bed. I said, you right, but he ain't here. So we gonna kick it tonight. And the Bulls beat the hell out of us the next night. Ron Harper, Scottie Pippen, they still beat us. We was in there kicking it like they ain't got MJ, and they still played a good game. So when it came to our game, you had to take your ass to bed when you came to Orlando because you was playing against us. when Shaq left, them boys, man, probably stayed up to 3 or 4 in the morning before they played us. Like, man, it's a wrap. They ain't got it no more.
They
And they
smell
went at us
blood.
too.
They smell blood, man.
They did smell blood.
Like you said, you was on the select team, which was crazy, playing against Dream Team. How was it when they called you and they say, we want you to be on Dream Team 2?
Man, come
Like
on.
you just like you say, you hitting all the accolades and the things. Like what was that call? Like we know, like you say, that's a different call than all NBA, than all-star. Like that's a different type of badge when you in the league. Like that's like you become an Avenger. You become one of the Marvel, you know what I'm saying, the superheroes out here.
Yeah, because, back then, it wasn't just no tryouts and everybody going to see if they can make it like nowadays,
Exactly.
right? You had to actually be
Called upon.
selected. And then that is the ultimate respect level for your game when they say, we want you to be on the Dream Team.
Damn, that's still early into Penny's career. Man, like I said before, he is Kobe before Kobe.
And man, I was like the way that it was going for me, man, it was unbelievable because we was rolling. We was winning in Orlando.
Yeah.
You get drafted. You're on the select team in college. All these things to get your own shoe and then to get put on the Dream Team. Bro, I was loving every minute of it. I was like a little kid, man. I was going around Stockton to GP to Hakeem to Scotty to Mitch Richmond to Reggie, all them boys, man. I was taking it all. Shaq, Charles, Karl Malone. Every practice, I'm walking up to them dudes and just saying something, bro, because I wanted to soak in all of it. I did.
Yeah.
And that was a great moment for me.
Let me ask you this, because we had DC on here. Can Dream Team 2 beat Dream Team 1? You done played against both of them.
You know what's so crazy is I had this conversation with Draymond Green talking about that because he's been on a couple Olympic teams, right? And I was like, we're not going to disrespect the OGs. We're going to get them, they say, and we're going to let the OGs rest and say the original Dream Team is the best team ever. For us, we know we can compete with anybody, but just on a respect level, we're going to get them dudes. They just do because they put in a lot of work. So.
And also, it doesn't get talked about too much. That Dream Team was the beginning of the passing of the torch. See, Larry Bird, in a few clips that had got out, you could see him slowly admitting it. It's MJ's time, but Magic Johnson was fighting it. He was fighting it. But a lot of the guys from the 80s, their time was beginning to wind down.
Disrespecting them, you know what I mean? We got lucky as the college players, but as far as, now, you got to know who we had and who they had. It's right there, but we got too many legends on that team that I love and respect.
I tell you, I like the respect factor
that.
right there. Listen, tell me about when you first hurt your knee at 97. What was the original injury that you had to start it off, the knee injury stuff?
Man, we playing the Pistons in the first round of the playoffs, and I'm about to go for a rebound, and Joe Dumars tried to come and wedge me in. But when he came in there, he kneed me right in the back of my knee, like right on that bone. And I felt it right away. I was like, damn. But I kept playing. You got the adrenaline and everything, and I kept playing. I finished that series. I finished the next series. And then I'm like, after it was over with, it wasn't really as bad anymore. So I went home, chilled the whole summer, and was hooping, and there wasn't nothing wrong. And right before training camp, I think I played with a torn meniscus the whole summer, bro. It was crazy. As soon as I got to training camp, I was like, damn, my knee back hurting like it was, when Joe hit me. And
This situation shows you how most NBA franchises over the years, the medical care has definitely improved 10x. Because the way superstars have so much value to their franchise, they would never ever let one of their star players just over the summer have a torn meniscus and not even know it. They're constantly checking up on these guys and putting them through a lot of testing, making sure that they're good to go.
MRI, I didn't do no MRI, nothing over the summer. Got back before the season started, and bro had to have surgery. It was torn. And that's when everything started going downhill from there.
Yeah,
but that's what happened. Joe hit me. He don't even know he did that. I never talked to Joe about that to this day. But he hit me perfectly right in the back of my knee, like on the lateral side. And it was right on that bone, bro. It just felt so bad at the time. And I was like, bro, something wrong. And then I just kept playing, and it just went away.
Once again, a brand new expansion franchise makes you wonder how much money they really put into their medical staff. But overall, at the time, a player didn't necessarily make or break his franchise to the degree it does today. I mean, even LeBron James going back to Cleveland, that franchise net worth had jumped up almost $500 million. That just wasn't the case back then.
And right when the season was about to start,
Right.
found out it was
That's what
torn.
happened. The NBA go on strike and then they come back for the 50 games, but you're
Crazy.
back healthy now and you dominating. But what was different when you came back after that strike that you didn't have before you got hurt?
I didn't have the same explosion. Even though it was like my first injury, I still felt a little, you're going to feel a little weird
Yeah.
because it's like you got that residue still kind of left over from the surgeries. Even though they give you 3 to 6 weeks, it might take 8, 9 weeks. So in the beginning, I was kind of rusty, a little step slower, wasn't trusting it. And then as the season went on, I got better and better. But I still scored the ball because I posted up. I scored at a high clip in the post.
Yeah.
And I didn't really have to have everything to be down there. I just had the length and the size.
Shoot right
And
over.
scoring in that midi. I went to the mid-range game and became one of them type of players. But yeah, that's what changed. I kind of wasn't flying up and down the floor like I was before I got injured until later. I just kind of used the mid-post and the post area to kind of get me through until I got back healthier.
When did you know, like, all right, it's time for me to leave? Orlando, you know, this chapter is over with. Like, did you choose to leave? Did they tell you were leaving, or did you just get traded? How did it all go down when you got traded?
No,
to
they
Phoenix?
wanted me to stay. That's when Doc Rivers came in and was the coach. But I felt so disrespected because they did me like they did Shaq counter. It was a young fan base. The media was like, you know, is Penny worth this? Is Penny worth that? It went back to that, like how they did Shaq. And I was like, bro, I'm blood, sweat, and tears in this joint. As much as I won, you know, I want to be respected. And again, once you let somebody get away and be wine and dine by somebody else, it could always seem better, especially when you bitter or you feel like you're being disrespected. Come on over here. We know how to treat you, bro. If they ain't treating you right, we got you. And I got with Jason Kidd, and Jay Kidd was like, man, let's go ahead and do this. And I was like, that'd be a dope backcourt. So I went to Phoenix.
And once again, Orlando being a brand new expansion franchise, maybe they wanted him to go, but they seem to have an issue not understanding certain dynamics with the media and just overall player sentiment. Even to this day, most franchises fear what happened to the Magic when it came to Shaq. It has even gone as far as letting things be too one-sided, with players asking for trades, franchises making sure that they can get something back in exchange. We've seen during the mid-2010s how players really got their way no matter what they did. Guys like James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, etc.
How was it playing with Jay Kidd? Like, Jay Kidd is one of the NBA players that I always wanted to get an opportunity to play with. But how was it, you know, getting the opportunity to play with Jay Kidd and seeing his IQ and the way he play and the way he lead a team?
Yeah, easy, bro. It was easy to play with him because, like you said, his IQ was so high. One of the fastest dudes in the league.
Yes.
Fearless, relentless, competitive, warrior, all that above. That dude can will a team to a win without even scoring. Just from his playmaking and his defense and his awareness and all the stuff that he had going. So he made my game easier, man. All I did was just, you know, got in the car and roll with him, you know what I mean? So he was healthier than me, but I still had enough to kind of help him or whatever. But I kind of rode that wave, man. Dude was a monster. He could get it done.
But it is what it is. It's great to hear from an NBA legend like Penny Hardaway. Definitely one of a kind. Kobe before Kobe, Mr. 1 Cent, Mr. Orlando Magic. And there's a lot of repercussions from this storyline that still play out, even to this day, with franchises being scared to losing homegrown stars for nothing, and all the way up to the way Nike still markets and promotes certain athletes, especially their merchandising. The history of the Foamposite still has impact to this day, as Nike definitely used that blueprint to advertise for LeBron James in the early part of his career. So it's good to hear from Penny Hardaway. There should have definitely been a longer segment in the Last Dance doc of Jordan just using the Orlando Magic as motivation after his comeback in '95.